Welcome to Sweatpants and Stories, a podcast where we get comfy and talk about the books we love. And today we are talking about Dream Girl Drama by Tessa Bailey.
All right, well, to start us off, we're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but we will anyway. So there's a long blurb on the back here. So I'll read the short blurb on the top, which I think gives us a good synopsis. A steamy chance encounter between a professional hockey player and the manic pixie dream girl he just can't seem to forget takes a turn when the pair realize that their parents are engaged. I think that sums it up pretty well. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's
kind of what happened.
Yeah,
that's kind of the book.
That's
so anyway, all right. And then they have a longer synopsis, of course, which we will not read. But they have, the artwork on the front.
Yeah.
Little bits of you have the hockey skates, you've got the girl, and then we have the sprayed edges, which we know you love so much.
The sprayed edges.
And they have the little hockey sticks.
That's
and
why
little
I
hearts.
initially bought this. I'm a huge hockey fan. And when I saw the hockey sticks, I was like, oh, I'm sure I will love this book because I love hockey.
But yes, here we are.
Tune in later to see my thoughts.
Did we actually love the book? Anyway. All right. Well, let's get into it, shall we?
I think so.
All right.
Yes. I do have to say one thing I was disappointed about.
Yes.
Is the cover
one thing.
About the cover.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry.
There's such a huge thing about her being like this, like, I don't know. What is it? What do they call her? She's just like this crazy good.
A manic pixie dream. Oh, with the harp?
No, with the harp.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like a prodigy.
A prodigy. She's a harp prodigy, but there is nothing
no
about
harp.
the harp. It just looks like it's all about hockey.
That's true. That is very true.
She's in a hockey jersey and they got hockey skates and there's nothing about the music.
That is very true.
And I feel like the book touches base more on the music than it does the hockey.
Yes. Yes. I think when you look at this and with the edges and with the artwork, you think a lot of hockey.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of hockey.
The only thing that touches base on the music is girl is dotted with a music note.
So I just noticed the things.
I noticed the little things.
You really did.
That was my one thing. I feel like
I did not notice
they touched more base on the hockey and the cover.
Yes.
But it was more touch base on the music harp in the book. So it was almost like I don't know. Yeah. No. That just kind of disappointing. Anyway, that's my thing. It's my one thing.
All right.
One
thing for the cover.
One thing for the cover.
All right. Who wants to kick it off?
I will kick it off.
All right, then.
All right.
Let's go.
Now we've come to our favorite part of the podcast where we answer the burning questions and get our hottest takes. So let's dive into the chemistry check.
All right. I will start.
Okay.
All right. First question. The central conflict relies on the fact that Sig and Chloe become future step siblings after their parents get engaged. How effective do you think this forbidden romance trope is, considering they are adults and not biologically related?
Yeah, that is a tough one, guys. We're just going to put this out there. They make it seem so important that they're future step siblings.
Yes.
Like they made that the main point, like, well, we're going to be related. We're going to be step siblings. And I feel like that was they touched base on that so much and made that feel like that was so important that any of the chemistry / romance felt awkward.
Yes.
And like, it was just, I understand it. And I get that they're not, biologically related. But they just made it such a big deal throughout the whole book that it was just so hard for me not to, every time there was like an intimate moment, I was like, oh, they're going to be step siblings. I was like, oh, they're going to be related. Like, oh, their parents are getting married. Like, it was just almost like a cringe moment. I don't cringe often in books. And most of the time it's when there's like gory stuff happening. But I was reading some of these scenes and I'm like, I'm making like a face like, oh, I don't think I can get behind this.
Yeah.
And so I understand the concept, and I don't know if I would constitute it as a forbidden romance. You know, like a forbidden romance is almost like a Romeo and Juliet. You know, like something where like your families are feuding and something like you're not supposed to be. This one, they're going to be related. I no matter what I tried to do, I could not get past that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was my main issue with that.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I will say this is probably not a trope I like, I guess. Yeah. And you're right. I think maybe had she explained it differently and they didn't make it such a big deal, maybe I wouldn't have read it as such a big deal. But you're right. Like it was in your face. This is bad. We know this is bad, but we can't resist, even though we know it's bad. And you're like, oh, but resist because it seems really bad.
Right.
It was just hard to move past it. It was. And then the public sentiment around it was not good when you got later in the book and people got wind of it. And then it even added to the fact of like, oh, this isn't good. It was uncomfortable. It was that I just felt uncomfortable reading it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I had a hard time with that.
Yeah, agreed. So. And then when the reporter came during the game.
Yes.
So, you know, she's at every game apparently in this like pink bedazzled jersey, which supposedly is what she's wearing on the front cover. And I guess there's been talk about her and all of this. And so when the reporter comes and she knows that they were trying to keep it secret.
Yes.
And so you get the idea from the reporter that she's somebody very special to him. And yet you say, no, our parents are getting married.
Yeah. I don't know why you would offer that information.
Don't think that was a smart thing to keep hidden? I don't know.
No.
That bothered me. And then, of course, that's when everything just kind of went crazy.
Yeah.
And like the media went insane. And so it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah. I think it was par for course with her character, though. That was just, she was just not very strong.
Yeah.
We will probably talk about that in a later question. So I will reserve my comments until we get to that point.
We can just answer all the questions in one.
I yield the floor to my podcast mates.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask my question now then. I'm sure we'll dive into the first one. All right. So how does Sig's career as a professional hockey player and the resulting media scrutiny on his relationship with Chloe add pressure and complexity to their journey? See, we just tied that in.
Look at us.
Like I knew what the next question
was. I didn't even know what the question was. I think it had a huge role to play and immense pressure, right? Because here he is trying to advance in his hockey career, right? They're going to make him the captain. He's looking for a big contract that's really important to him financially and for his future stability and his success and his career. And then the media gets wind, and then you have this whole, fallout, right, with the new GM and all the challenges that brought with it. And so I think his career played a big role and had a tremendous pressure on their relationship. And then ultimately the decisions they made throughout the way of how they handled things and when they kind of separated for a minute. And so I think it was hugely impactful. I do think, and we talked about this a little bit earlier too, you got the behind the scenes part of his hockey. Like you got the interactions with the teammates off the ice. I feel like you got some of the dynamics behind the scenes with the new GM, but it wasn't as prevalent in the book. There was so much of them together and not as much of them, I felt like individually, and especially with the hockey thing, looking at the cover, you would have thought there would have been more of that dynamic of, the pregame and the game and the, just the tensions of being a hockey player and whatnot. There wasn't a lot of that in there. So to me, that was missing. Yeah. But again, to answer the question, I do think the hockey career put a big pressure, big strain on the relationship.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, we were saying for something that you would think is a hockey book, there was very little hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my main disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Put aside the awkward step sibling romance, all of that. Maybe I could have gotten past it if we had maybe a couple like scenes where they were like in the game and it was like, you know, it's getting into. Yes. I've read hockey books, and I love reading hockey books, but to me, this wasn't a sports romance.
No, it wasn't centered around hockey. Mm-mm. It was centered around their relationship and the dynamic of the potential step sibling things. It wasn't centered around hockey.
Right. Yeah, and so agreed. I guess going back to the cover, be careful and cautious how you're going to promote it, because if you're promoting it with hockey sticks and skates thinking it's going to be a sports romance, this is not a sports romance.
Right.
I've read many sports romances, and this was just a romance.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so that was my main thing. We got more of her with her heart.
Yeah.
And then when she was interning with that woman to get the first seat and all of that, like, we had more of that than we did with the game. We had when the reporter came and he said that she's been to every game. So we know there's been multiple games. We just haven't seen them.
Agreed.
And so that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, switching gears slightly. So Chloe is initially introduced as a manic pixie dream girl. That's a mouthful. Who is sheltered by her wealthy, controlling mother. How does her journey of seeking independence in Boston showcase her true character development beyond the initial trope?
Whew, that is a long question. I'm not sure I'm going to remember all of it to answer. I'm gonna
Did she get independence in Boston?
All right.
Did she develop as a character and get independence in Boston? Maybe that's the Cliff Notes version.
That's a better. There we go. I like Cliff Notes. Just put it in AI. Send this question up for me. So it's kind of funny because reading this book, I knew where she was from, because growing up in Connecticut, I'm like, oh, okay, I know where this is. And I understand the whole country club aspect.
Yes.
We were far from the country club growing up.
Like, I also didn't think that was the most wealthy place in the state.
Neither did I.
I'm just going to be honest
with you. Of all the places to pick, I
had trouble with that.
That wasn't the one I didn't.
Like, it is a wealthy area for sure.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's the wealthiest.
I was thinking more Greenwich.
Yeah.
Like in that area.
Yeah.
I'm not. Anyway. I digress.
Yes.
But you know, I get that, and then moving to Boston, I'm like, oh, okay, I know Boston. I love Boston. Like, I have a Boston hat on. But anyway, I don't think she got independence.
No, I would agree.
I don't. First of all, I don't think she had a backbone. I think she was so dependent and reliant on her mom and their money that she didn't really have, like, she had a personality, but she didn't have, like, as a character, she couldn't stand on her own 2 feet.
No.
You know, and then like her just up and going with Sig to Boston, like, yeah, that's great. And I feel like it could have been such a good thing for her. But in reality, all she did was then just rely on Sig.
Yes.
And it wasn't like she got independence. It was just like she is now relying on someone else.
Yes.
In a different place. And yes, she got to do more of the things that she liked, and she got to, you know, to live by herself and stuff, but it was, I don't know, it was a tough play at things. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
The one thing I go to is the laundry.
Yes.
Just sitting on the laundry, like, I'm gonna do laundry because, like, I have to do my own laundry. What? Like, you're not gonna do it? And then she buys fabric softener. You didn't even know to buy laundry detergent. But then here comes Sig with Tide Pods in his pocket. Like, yeah, we're going to do laundry. I don't know. Yeah. She did not gain independence.
No.
She might have branched out a little bit more than being dependent on her mom, but that just resulted in her being dependent on Sig.
Yes.
Because wasn't he paying for her rent?
Yes.
Like,
yes. And then she spent the money.
spends the money
on other things.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm gonna get it. Don't worry. Like,
it's just
completely oblivious.
Yeah, and that was my other issue, I think, with this book. Aside from the creepiness, I think, of the future step sibling dynamic, she wasn't a strong female lead. I love a good, strong female lead. Like, I like the back and forth. I like someone who, at the end of the day, if she needed to walk away, you walk away, right? And I felt she wasn't strong. She never had that moment. And she was defined by whoever she was with. So she was defined by being with her mother. And then she was defined by being with him. And I know she had the moment of like, I'm going to leave you. It just, I didn't feel it. It wasn't enough. And I think that was my problem. She just was not a strong female character, did not have common sense and smarts about her. And I could never really like embrace her as a lead, as a female lead. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, especially like they make you feel so, I don't know, like into Sig. Right?
Yes.
Like you get his whole backstory and how he's never known his dad. Right. And like his mom has supported him his whole life, and he's trying to, pay for her things and his things, and he's not making a lot of money.
No.
Like, unless you get that big contract, hockey players historically don't get paid as much as any other sports. They actually get paid the least amount. Somewhere close to where like soccer and hockey are close. Nowhere near football and baseball.
Yeah.
And which is crazy to me because like hockey is such a full contact sport.
Yeah, I feel like you should have some sort of like a combat pay.
Yeah. And so the pay has been increasing, but like knowing that and reading this and seeing like how much he's paying for her, and like he lives in a teeny tiny apartment. Yes. He's signing memorabilia to ship out so he can get more money. Like, my heart was bleeding for this poor man.
Agreed.
Meanwhile, she has all the money in the world. She's just choosing to not accept it because she doesn't want to do what her mom wants her to do. Yeah. And so that was so tough for me because she never really like, I don't know. Yeah. There wasn't like a defining like, yes, you've redeemed yourself. Right. It's more like, okay, good for you. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, you're happy now, but
yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is going to be a good question. We do have one more. Ready for this one, guys? All right. So this has been our first book reading Tessa Bailey. Okay. Right. My first book, at least. I don't know if you have.
I feel like I have. I should have checked my Kindle before we did this. I'll be honest with you, but I feel like I've read something else.
Okay.
But I can't be entirely sure.
Well, yes. But she is apparently known for her spice and her dirty talk. So how does this book utilize those elements? And are the steamy scenes well integrated into the emotional plot and character development?
All right, so let me just put it out there, right? I am no stranger to a good spice in book, right? Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. That's totally fine, right? There's a line for me where then it's too much. I like the romance. I like the story. I like the characters. I like to be immersed in the world, right? And you get some of that on the journey, the romantic journey, fantastic, right? This was a lot. It was a lot. And it was very descriptive in moments, and just with the whole dynamic of we shouldn't be together, but we can't resist each other. So let's do this. And you're like, And so I will say I did have some moments where I scrolled through those pages. I was just sort of, okay, moving along in the Kindle, moving along quickly. You kind of I got the gist of it, and we're moving on. And so I don't think it advanced the plot. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't think the plot got any benefit from some of those scenes other than the fact that, you have those scenes and it lives up to her expectations as an author and what her fan base is looking for. But it was a lot.
Yeah. I like what you said. I read spicy books. I don't mind spicy books. However, there are some spicy books, like, we've talked about the Carolina Reaper or the habanero, there are certain ones, especially if they use certain words.
Yes.
Sometimes the words they use just make me so like uncomfortable that I have to just skip until that scene's over.
Fair.
Which sometimes is unfortunate because it's like sometimes I don't mind the scenes when they're like toned down. But there was a lot of wording that was questionable, and not questionable in if I was reading it in a regular book, I might not have been as bothered, but the fact that they knew that they were going to be step siblings and then had those thoughts and had those, like they were thinking those words in their head, I couldn't get past it.
I know.
And that's what made me skim it. Like the look on my face while I'm reading this book, I'm like,
yeah.
We're gonna just move on. I don't know. That was a struggle. And honestly, I don't know what spice really in any book would help with character development.
I'm not sure about that either. No, I'm not sure about that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure about that either. But okay, so if you think about it from this perspective, right? Like you have the romantic relationship. The romantic relationship progresses, right? Yeah. And then it progresses to the level of, some sort of intimacy, right? You're like, okay, I get that. It's moving the relationship along, right? This to me was like, it was a lot of just words, and there was no room for my imagination. Let's just put it that way. There was no place for me to be like, oh wow, like, think about this and, insert your thought. Like it was very much laid out for you in many, many, many pages. Yeah. I'm a fan of the fade to black. Yes.
Like you don't have to say fade to black, but it's almost like,
we got the gist of it. We all know what's happening.
Or we don't need every single, like you can go from this scene and then get to this one.
Right. I don't need
all of that in the middle.
Agreed. No,
I don't.
And again, maybe some people do. Maybe they really enjoy that. And then if so, great. Yes. You will enjoy this. Definitely.
If you are into future step siblings, this is your book. That's your cup of tea.
It's like a very specific trope, right? I'm sure there's people out there for it, but wow, it seems like a very niche market.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But hey, if
not to alienate those 4 listeners that we have.
Right. No, I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
No.
This would be your book if you're into future step siblings.
Yes, agreed.
That's all I got to say.
Agreed, yes.
All right. Well, on that note, let's go into the sweatpants scale, guys.
Let's do it.
This is going to be fun. I'm very excited for this one.
I'm glad you're excited.
All right. So we like to, see where these books fall on a scale that we have now rated the sweatpants scale, which is appropriate for the sweatpants.
The sweatpants.
And we've had books that have ranged from 3 to 5 now.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So we're doing good, guys.
We're doing
Not
okay.
so bad.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay.
We might get a new one today.
Yes. Excited. I'm excited we have a 5. We've come off the 3. We were on the 3 for a while.
Steady 3. And now we're, we're veering. We're veering in different directions. All right. So guys, just a brief reminder of our sweatpants scale. We have, could it be a 1? A stiff jean? Maybe. Is it a 2? The unzipped fly? Nobody wants that, especially in front of a step sibling. Is it the 3?
A normal step sibling that would probably tell you, as opposed to look at it as an invitation.
Zip up your fly. They'd be like, hey, let's go to the bathroom.
Oh, still creepy.
Still cringing. All right. All right. Is it a 3, a loose fitting jean? 4, the elastic waist sweatpants.
Ah, so good.
Or 5, the cozy fleece-lined sweatpants of perfection.
So good.
Yes. I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. It's not a 5.
It's not a 5.
Not a 5. Spoiler alert. Anyway.
If you haven't guessed already.
But I am going to let my co-host.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
Why, thank you. So, all right. this is it's not a tough one from that perspective, but it's a tough one from deciding how low to go, I'll be honest with you. So I think I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay.
I think there were some okay moments of the story. I think there was some dynamic. I made it through. I didn't not finish it, probably because we were reading this for this podcast, quite honestly. But I was toying with giving it a 1. I think I'll settle on the 2.
Okay.
I can't go any higher than the 2, though.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I will not read this again.
No. No.
Again, maybe someone will, and they will love this. And this was just not my cup of tea.
Step siblings for the win sometimes.
Yeah, not my cup of tea.
All right. Well, I have been toying with what to rate it, and I have been really thinking about it. So don't think this is like an on-the-fly decision, guys. I really try to decide what to give it. And I feel really bad, but I have to go with the 1.
I know.
Because here's the thing. And I was just reading the definition, and it said the book's uncomfortable. I couldn't wait to take it off. It just didn't work for me. And we had talked about this, or I had talked about this with my husband. Who knows at this point? It's the holidays. I don't know what's happening.
I have no idea what day it is.
Yeah. But if we were not reviewing this for the podcast, I would not have finished it.
No, I wouldn't have either.
I would have stopped well before 3/4 of the way through.
Yes.
And this would have been a DNF. And I feel like if it was going to be a DNF, I was doing our 11 subscribers in justice by not rating it what would have been an appropriate rating for me. And so I was thinking too. And I was like, certain parts of the book were okay. The writing was well done.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's a very good writer.
Yeah. I will definitely read another book of hers as long as there's no step siblings.
Yes. Yeah. It just,
That is the one thing that it just was so uncomfortable for me, where I wouldn't have finished the book.
Yeah.
And it was a struggle to finish it because of that aspect. And then to add on to it, I'm sorry, I'm getting into it now. We didn't know that they weren't step siblings until the last chapter.
Oh, I know.
The last chapter.
We made it through all of these pages, right? And then we find out they're not going to be step siblings. Yeah. And then it all wraps up in 5 pages.
Less than a chapter.
Yes.
He's waiting to see her perform. And then she sees him and he's like, that's not my dad. What? And it was all so rushed.
It was
so
rushed. So rushed.
And we had a 5 years later part, so you got them in the future.
But that was also short.
Yes.
It was almost like she was writing this. And again, no offense. I know how hard this must be, right?
Yes.
But it was almost like there was some sort of a page limit. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, shoot, I got to wrap this up. And then it wrapped up. But it was really fast.
The epilogue is 5 pages.
Yes.
It's a 5-page epilogue talking about 5 years later.
Yeah.
The last chapter is less than 20 pages.
Yeah.
And that's when we find out that they're not actually related.
Yes. So we went through 200 and something pages?
300 pages.
Yes.
We read a 300-page book, and only 20 of those pages were when they were together. And it was okay
in a non-creepy way,
right? In a non-creepy way, because they weren't actually
going to be related.
Yeah, they weren't actually step siblings. Yeah. Their parents do get married.
They do get married. Yes,
in a really awkward moment because they had just had a very special night together, and then they wake up and they get phone calls from both of their parents.
Night.
Very descriptive, and they go, "Hey, we tied the knot in Vegas." And it's like, oh my god,
what dry heaving,
right? I don't know. So. If I did not finish, if I didn't even make it to 280 pages out of the 309, I never would have known that they weren't related.
No. No, it was a lot to read through.
Yeah.
And scenes that, again, I'm like, I don't know that I need this scene.
Yeah.
So yes. All right, anyway.
I digress. Okay. That was it. Clearly.
1 and a 2.
Yeah.
Clearly not our favorite.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yep.
It's bound to happen.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's move on now. Let's move past this. Guys.
Let's move past this.
We can do
All right.
this.
So looking ahead, I was very close to the screen there for a second.
That's okay.
All right. Looking ahead, we're going to think positively.
Yes.
And we are getting into, or we are in the throes of the holiday season, and so we are going to switch gears, and we are going to read a holiday book.
And we had a request.
We did!
From one of our 11 subscribers.
So exciting!
I got a text saying, can you please read this book? I want to know where it falls on your Sweatpants scale. And so we said, how can we say no?
How can we say no? How can we say no? So next podcast, tune in. We are reading Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. And very excited to review this. And spoiler alert, it had sprayed edges. So you know who is also very excited about this one.
I'm very excited. However, the last sprayed edges have me a little unnerved.
That is true.
It has showed me, do not judge a book by its sprayed edges.
See? Because the one I really liked had no sprayed edges. So there.
Fine.
So there. Sprayed edges aren't everything, people.
But they are pretty. Okay,
Vindication.
fine.
Vindication.
All right. So,
thank you.
You're welcome.
And good news, they're not related.
They're not related. Yes.
All right. So join us next time for our next book. Thank you so much for being with us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on social media.
All right. So until next time, keep your sweatpants on and your stories closed.